Hey everyone, my group will be discussing Leadership Skills for Change by Laura, Yvette, Lauren, and myself, Elizabeth. I will be discussing leadership and the different styles that it can influence a leader to leading their group or organization. So let's begin. According to Kearney Nunnery in 2016, it defines leadership as involving action, creativity, motivation, and visioning. It is viewing the possibility and motivating others to make things happen. As a nurse, we need to be flexible and adaptable to in our environments. As a nurse leader, we can guide team members by training and coaching the individual into their roles by helping them to work effectively and efficiently. Essential leadership skills for nurses are to be active listeners, motivate others, deal with emotional competencies, conflict resolutions, networking with others, managing difficulty colleagues, as well as ability to forming meaningful relationships. It is essential as a leader to provide guidance by allowing the individual to gain confidence within oneself and creating trust within another to be more effective in their roles, as well as gaining confidence within their leader. Leaders play an essential role in framing the contents of change for their staff, especially in uncertain environments. Leaders can help to manage change in a way that employees can cope with. For instance, in order to be successful for any type of change, we cannot impose change, but rather, as leaders, we must find ways to enable the involvement of the employees, to embed the change into a cultural that actually matters and it can be successful. Now let's look into the difference between leadership versus management. Leadership is actually influencing and motivating groups of people to act in the same direction towards achieving the same common goal. They do not delegate authority, but they obtain power through the influence. They focus on group processes such as gathering information, getting feedback from others, and also empowering others to be more involved. The goal may or may not reflect the organization, but unlike management, it does lead and direct organization to meet its goals, but the goals must be appropriate to the resources that they utilize. They do have authority that gets delegated. They emphasize on control and decision making, and they also analyze everything. They actually are more formal. They take responsibility and accountability, and they also have control of other leaders. So let's remember, a leader mobilizes a group to achieve great things, whereas a manager focuses on directing the group to meet desired outcomes for organization through thought through thoughtful and careful planning, direction, monitoring, recognizing, development, and representation. An effective manager must be a good leader, but with a focus of established organization outcomes. The combination of effective leadership and management skills provides the nurse with the attributes to face the multitude of challenges in the current healthcare system and the various organizations. So now let's dive into the different leadership theories. Leadership theories evolve from viewing the individual leader, the personal characteristics in the great man, and trait theories of those addressing environmental influences. For example, the great man approach is someone who is born into the role, such as Napoleon or even Lincoln. The trait approach is the personality trait, so it can be social, physical, intellectual traits, any skills or abilities that they've gained. The situational approach is the focus on the characteristic of the leader, so they actually adapt to that style. Next one is contingency approach, which is the flexibility and adaptation. The transformational leadership approach is actually vision and enables to promote environmental changes. So they're more of a role model, they influence and they promote change. Authentic leadership approach, they actually one model focuses on a problem and the decision making, and the other leadership development for effectiveness. So let's dive into the three basic leadership styles. Bureaucratic is one, which is given authoritarian commands. Democratic is actually participation from others. So not only is it cognitive input, but also into situation. So it does take everyone else's opinions and concerns into accountability. Unlike laissez-faire is actually more of a passive leader, and they actually have less involved. The leader has less involvement, but overall, healthcare is fast and a growing modern organization, and it is clear that without doing things differently, organizations are unlikely to be successful. Leadership requires change in communication, collaboration, and also commitment throughout interpersonal interaction. Effective and essential leadership is crucial to be successful for any type of change in the healthcare practice. So remember, leaders mobilize the group and share a vision. Managers, they coordinate the resources to address the goal of that vision.